not, my guy. You might have to slide. You might have to slide over here.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry for this.
Okay.
Give me your coffee over there. It's early in the morning. Good morning to everybody watching, tuning in. Thank you for joining in with us. Put that there. You know, I gotta promote that.
Good morning. Good morning. Top of the morning.
Good
morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, something like that, you know.
Good morning.
We're close, you know.
Right. So, you know, last time we hopped on Civ 6, definitely had a lot to say, I guess, or maybe not a lot to say, you know. But nonetheless, we said we were gonna kind of like continue it on. We kind of really haven't. It was like 2 months ago since we were live.
We probably, well, no, we did. We deleted that one, so.
Yeah.
Remember that. Whatever you saw last time is not this.
Right.
Whole new game.
Right.
Whole new players.
Yep.
Shoot, look, we got already Pinpoint in the building.
Pinpoint in the game with my brother.
Man? Hey, man, we actually got to get Pinpoint on this too, bro.
We definitely do. I know I did tell him we got to get him on, but then he said...
he's been inviting us. He's been hitting me up too about it too, bro.
No, for sure. We definitely got to get him on just the game aspect. For sure. I know I told him we were going to do this, and he said he'd hop on. So we definitely got to get him to hop on.
Yes.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure if he was going to be awake this early. And it told me to invite players. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of, right before I started the broadcasting.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, the reason we're here, guys.
Shout out to Pinpoint.
Right, shout out to Pinpoint. Check out his channel. But the reason we're here, guys, is to discuss Civ 7, right?
Yes.
Upcoming. What was it, 2025, right? It says
2025 next year.
So we still got some time.
No
right?
official date, at least.
Right.
It just said 2025. It didn't say not. It didn't even say like what, you know, what, like, I mean, like spring, you know, summer. It just said 2025.
Yeah, exactly.
That I remember. I could have sworn.
Yes. So yeah, exactly. It doesn't give you like a month or date, a day. Then he says up at 6 a.m. My guy. All right. Well, shout out to the real ones up at 6 a.m.
Doing the their thing.
Doing their thing, cause
early bird. You know what I'm saying? Getting the worm twice.
So
this coffee got me wired, bro.
Bro, well, you know, it's my little.
Yeah, I swear. No, for real. This got me. They're gonna see the whole game. Me shaking my whole leg like this. Man, some good coffee though. Just like good, real good tasting coffee. Not gonna lie.
I'm gonna start off here.
Man.
No, actually, no. Let me change that.
So for those who actually have played Civ, as you can see, Mike's Rome. It is a different color. I decided to change it because, well, I'm Persia, and well, it was actually a lighter purple. I think I could have kept your purple.
You probably could have.
Because your purple.
Because I know Persia is a lighter purple.
You know, it's like your purple's like a royal purple, dark purple.
You were just being a hater. And it's okay.
Well, you know, I like the purple.
Purple, nurple.
Favorite color.
Maybe I should actually. Oh no, because I think I can't do this until I figure out irrigation. Yeah.
So speaking of Civ 7, man, I guess to talk about expectancies, man. What are we expecting? Dude, I think this controller's charged, bro. Why do we have it on the charger?
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe take it out the charger. There you go. I mean, look. All right. First and foremost, let's not jump too ahead.
Okay.
First off, trailer. What'd you think? What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm a fan of Civ, man. So really, like, it had me excited. Well, and thanks to Rob, you know, shout out again, Pin, because it was so funny. It was just I guess a little side note story that I guess will make, you know, it. I had called Il Divino and I was like, hey bro, we gotta, continue on this podcast or, on the stream of playing Civ 6. And I guess it more rose for me because I was trying to, man, this coffee's really good, bro. It got me like.
Expenses to me. You're still going.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. I thought I forgot about the Warriors.
You want me to play YouTube, bro? I got you, bro.
That's funny.
You still gotta choose your science that you're gonna do. Come on, bro. No, but so yeah.
So yeah, I was Well,
I
remember calling you, man. I was telling you like, man, we gotta talk about like what Civ 6 are, like the complaints about everything that I had for it. Recently, I've been playing Civ 6 and it's just been crashing on me. Where I feel like it could probably be like a data thing, a memory thing, maybe a processor thing. I don't know. It's just every time I play, and I mean, Ottavino's experienced it too. I mean, for him, it's happened at a later time period. I'm like one to exaggerate like maps and stuff, bro. So like I added everything, like I wanted every, saying I had zombie mode on there,
right?
Barbaric, clan mode, all of it.
You went all in.
All in, what I'm saying? I wanted to experience everything at once. Shoot me all at once, But that I guess might be too strong for the PS5 because man, every turn now, bro, I had to save at the beginning,
right,
and
right.
It's nuts.
Yeah, no, So my initial thought when I saw the Civ 7 trailer was, I felt a bit underwhelmed at one point. I'm like, I'm not seeing much, but I mean, here's the thing. I know Civilization will deliver a decent game, right? Like a good game, like it's not like it's ever really bad. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is what I gotta say though. What the one thing? Well, I mean, I could say not much, but I could say it feels like they might go more in depth with some things that.
No, right. So that's why I said initially I felt underwhelmed. The more it the more it keeps going, then you're like, oh, okay, they might be doing some things new.
Yeah.
That they haven't done before, or that I would say that they haven't done before, or maybe haven't done in a while.
Right.
What I mean by that is, so I don't know if you've noticed, but in the trailer, for different characters, which I couldn't make out if these were like world leaders or if they were heroes.
Yeah. Okay.
Or just maybe what are they called? Significant? No. What are they called? I'll tell you right now.
I hear you. I guess
like the great people.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
So I don't know what it is, either or, whether it's heroes, great people, or leaders. But either way, it looked like
I didn't see that before.
It looks like they're attempting to now do different voices.
Yeah.
For each leader, as far as them speaking themselves, maybe would appear like maybe in the intro or something of like how in this game it starts and it's the classic homie, what I'm saying, who's been doing it for a while now, which but mad respect, a great narrator, great voice. Every time I hear his voice, I'm like, man, I really want to go see some Game of Thrones right now just to see him acting in that, or maybe even some Lord of the Rings, to see him in there.
Yeah, it just brings you that vibe.
Yeah, exactly. And let me make sure I'm playing here too, though. And so, which again, shout out to the homie because he's been doing it for a minute, doing a great job at it. And then also they use his voice for when you discover a new research or new technology or a new cultural what do they call it, like the policies or something, whatever they're called, like the pink purple thing, you have the signs of blue, whatever. You'll have him narrate the quote of some sort of great person that revolves around what you just discovered. It seems like they might even like, and that's what I actually meant to say. Is it seems like because the trailer sounds like you're hearing quotes.
Yeah.
That you because like it's like for each discovery that you see in the trailer, it was like a different quote like you get in the game, but
it's a different person.
Yeah. For each, so it seems like that's the route they're going now.
Which is cool. Like that, honestly, that would be cool. You know what I'm saying? That's a little.
So cool, yeah, for sure. But is it necessary?
I don't think as necessary as probably what we're probably going to speak upon. Say,
right.
You know, and I mean, even with Pinpoint saying, you know, more empires, better graphics, more possible storylines, you know what I'm saying? Rivals doing, you know, actually that's actually
so, okay, great points. And we're gonna get to them.
We're gonna, sure. Yeah, definitely.
Here, maybe we should even just watch the trailer right quick, just to recap. Because
I already got a barbarian, bro. Wow.
Let's see.
For those who haven't, man, go watch it. It's pretty cool. See, but like, I'm not gonna lie, this right here was. It did catch my attention, but I'll tell you which part definitely caught my attention.
But you see already, they see different voices.
Voices, yeah, like I hear this female, then even like.
But like, you know.
And it's not the same female either.
Yeah,
remember,
that's what I meant.
It's like, there's like...
Yes, it's different.
Architects of fate, working in these walls of time.
And honestly, it makes sense, because technically we get construction, you know, the great, or what are they called?
The great people.
Great people, but like the engineers.
You get engineers, you get, right,
so
right.
it could be that, you know, we have great engineers talking, great scientists talking. So that's actually
right.
pretty,
that's a
good point.
Right, which I'm gonna say why that's kind of cool back once we're done.
Let us all with death prepare. Last great journey fair.
Yeah, that's cool. See, this is where it started capturing me, because it kind of like, you already have the like different types of army styles for different like, you know, empires, but like you could tell like it almost looks like it might get more in depth. Like you could see the culture, you know, you can see the, you know, pirate, you know, era. You're like, it's like almost like they kind of go through eras more specifically now. That's what it almost seemed like to me. When I saw that part, you see that? Like, that's pretty freaking cool, bro. But like, again, I could see what you're saying. Like, it's like, man, that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited, though. I'm not gonna lie. But
no, yeah, for sure, dude.
Wish list now, heck yeah.
Oh, of course.
Oh, this is actually gonna have a gameplay showcase in August. Raw as hell. I didn't see that.
See, there you go.
So that's gonna be something, you know, to see this year.
Yep.
You know, I'll keep an eye on that. You know, I'm gonna definitely be watching that, man, because I definitely, like, again, there's a lot of expectations, you know, that for real, you know, I hope they could at least accomplish or you know, actually fulfill.
Right, right. I think so. So, again, uncertain of like, you know, if obviously this whole voiceover thing was just for the trailer itself, or like this is something they're gonna implement into the game. So like to what even like he says it needs more dialogue Pinpoint. That makes sense. Maybe this is what they're attempting to do. You know,
yes.
You know, like
you know
even
what?
to the point where they're getting even more specific. Like I don't know if you noticed, for each empire that was being displayed, you had a more you know, voice that actually comes from that, you know, geography. You know what I'm saying? Like when it was
exactly.
like when you see the, you know, glimpse of the Chinese Empire, you had like some sort of Chinese accent guy speaking. You know what I'm saying?
You know, one thing that would be cool, bro, that if they added back to the game.
Hey, that would. Hey, you do. You know what? You do a good job, man. You do a really good job at it, man. I'll tell you that much.
Look, man, this guy, I've heard him have like different voiceovers, bro. Like I've heard him do like the Kratos. You know what I'm saying? I've heard him do Kratos before. You know.
Right.
This guy could probably be, you know, fucking America if he wanted to. You know?
You're right.
Hey, man, but man, bro. Yeah.
So yeah, I it's hard to say. You know, we still new I don't know if there's videos out there already where like maybe they're talking to certain developers from Civ
Right.
7 that
My
are going to
bad,
talk
bro.
about what's going on.
I sidetracked a little bit too, but remember in Civ Rev where like you actually like the more culture you got, obviously is like then you were able to like collect some certain thing like or I guess performers or whatever in your palace that you have like some sort of like ballet bears and shit or like the,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
you remember they
Holy
kind of took
moly.
that out like I mean
Okay,
like,
well, hold on. You didn't jump away. No. Now you're kind of jumping away.
Yeah.
We're gonna get there. Because I definitely want to talk about the things that maybe we can bring back from
okay,
older
yeah,
video games, right?
yeah.
So, which the reason why I'm focusing on the voicing right now in the trailer, and if this is a new thing they're doing in the game, it's really not that new. The only thing that would be kind of new about it is if they're actually introducing more dialogue into the game, would be that if they're using different voices,
Yeah.
different characters of that nature. It definitely for me brought back reminiscence of the Civilization game I used to play on the PlayStation 1
Oh snap!
way
Yeah.
back in the day, where
And
I don't know if you remember, even in Civ Rev, I think, which obviously for those who don't know, we're talking about Civilization Revolution.
Revolution.
I want to say it was that game. They had advisors, like more
Yeah.
advisors than with the ones you see here. Like here's the thing: you see like an icon now for an advisor. Back
Yeah.
then, the advisor was an actual,
an
like,
actual person.
Yeah.
I would. You
right,
know
like,
what?
or like character. I would say.
Yeah.
Because what I'm saying is that the first one I played back in the day, it was actual people. Like
Oh shoot.
yeah, that's how the game was. It was like they had a bunch of like
Yo.
different guys in togas.
Yeah.
That would, they had obviously had pre-recorded, I'm assuming, animations, and dialogues to the response of what they're about to tell you to what you're asking or which what route you should take.
Yeah.
And like so it was like a panel of 6 different dudes in togas, and they were like just still. But the moment you like switched it up, they'd be like, it would appear you might need more food, whatever. Like, it was really.
Yeah, like it got you to like.
Yeah.
This is my counsel.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly. This is my exactly. You know what I'm saying? So
No, you know what? They
I was
should.
invested, man.
They should bring that back. I would say for Rev, that was kind of a cool thing, even though it was not like that. It was not like actual like English. These
Right.
guys were like, follow me. Remember that?
Right, no, right. It was very
Hey.
Somalian
Yeah, like
type.
yeah.
So which is interesting enough that now I will say like what I did like about this Civ, or maybe even like the more recent Civ, like from Civ 5 to Civ 6, was the fact that they brought back voices, right? Which was again for me a callback to that one game I'm telling you about on the PlayStation 1,
Yeah.
where these guys were actually talking to you in English. So that is, for me, it was like, okay, let's call back to that. But yes, I guess for me, I wonder, do you lose and gain things?
Change my leash.
I wonder if you gain and lose some things due to obviously the size of the game, the size of the hardware that they're expecting the game to be played on.
So now
because-
I think now we're gonna get into
Now we're getting
that.
into that territory because my thing is like, okay, they brought these voices in, right? Where like now whenever you are meeting with, let's say, Elizabeth of England, she speaks
English.
and then when you
Or even Abraham Lincoln. This man came up to me saying, "A house divided." I was like, "Whoa,
right.
my boy!" Like,
he's
I was like, "Hey, look, that's your famous quote, my guy. Don't hit it on me now." You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. But
I thought we were
interestingly
cool. You know what I'm saying?
enough, interestingly enough, for each nation though, they speak to you in their language. So let's say that too. Like that was a cool concept.
And I think it's more like even part of like their famous quotes, right? Because because even for like Abraham Lincoln, like yeah, he speaks English, but like not everything they talk. Like for example, like you'll meet them and they'll probably be like,
Yeah. No. Civ 6 definitely expanded on the conversation, on the dialogue.
Yeah.
Because you're right. Yeah, I remember that. It was like, But Civ 6, it was definitely like, like whenever, like say even when they're like, your troops are too close to my borders.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, for every response, they actually now talk to you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I didn't even know that she talked like that, like in that way. Like I thought it was just like I said, I thought it was like more like of a grunt or something, and then it'll tell you the words on the screen or something. You know what I'm saying?
possibly.
Because
I feel like they do talk to you, though.
But no, I mean, I've heard it, like, that's for sure, I've heard it, I mean, it was cool, like, honestly, even here, because I heard even, like you said, Queen Elizabeth, I was like, oh, shit, like,
Yeah.
but, no,
For tense diplomatic relations. So, I mean, look. All right, hold on. Now,
okay,
I feel like that's what we want, all of us, right? Like, I think, but I'm not sure we're gonna get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's like that just sounds like something that's far ahead, like in Civ 9 or 10. You know, where
well, I'll be honest, in my opinion, I feel like AI's freaking diplomatic relations are already tough as it is, like, especially here, like, when it comes to the, when it comes to the, coming to the round table type thing. I forgot what it's called. The
oh, you're talking about the World Congress.
yeah, the World Congress. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like in that moment, like it's just like even when you're like how do you say, like when you're trying to like trade with these people, bro. Some of these guys, when they come up to you, it's like if you were to come up, like if that was real life, bro, my response would be like, that makes no sense, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'd probably I do my best thinking I'm probably doing like, all right, you know what? I got a better trade for you.
Right.
Nah, he does not like the trade. I'm like, damn, bro, I think this is probably like the most fairest trade. You know?
Right. Yeah. You're not trying to up the guy or dupe the guy.
Yeah.
But you definitely feel like you're trying to get duped.
Yeah, you know, always.
Yeah. No, so I guess I will agree. You're right. Like tenser diplomatic relations in
I
this
feel
game
like
already are pretty tense.
Yeah, I
you
think
know?
it should dial it down or not. And I'm like,
No, I think so. If I had an idea to what
More
he's trying to say,
realistic,
I think it's just more realistic. I think is what he's saying.
yeah,
Where
yes,
you know,
like I
maybe
get you,
even
yeah.
I would like to see at one point, maybe even like, you know, and this is what I would like to see in like many games actually, that if they're a more immersive dialogue concept,
Yeah.
where like I don't
get you.
have to rely on the pre-designed responses on your behalf towards that character.
You know what?
Or it towards in this game towards this empire, where games would allow you to actually respond. You know, they've done it before in certain games where like you would talk to. I don't know if you guys remember.
You know what
probably what that game was on the Sega Dreamcast. It was like, but look, my whole point is like you can talk to Alexa,
Yeah.
Siri, and granted, you know you have the guys that are tempted to say something goofy, and you know, luckily for us, you know, the people who develop Alexa and Siri, like you know, they know,
Yeah,
so they'll give like some catchy responses to throw back at you,
Yeah.
you know, but nonetheless, you can actually have a pretty close conversation.
This guy gets lucky every time with this, bro. Every time I play with this guy, like, there's not a time that this guy does not get lucky with these friendly
You know,
villagers.
I'm gonna do low key though, so that way I can go back to his old comments. I'm gonna go on here live, so on the live second.
Okay.
Go back to other things you said.
What I was gonna say that they should bring back though, bro, like, cause I do remember this happening in Rev 2, I think, that like, for example, like, you'd give somebody a certain like trade, but like maybe that trade would even offend them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah.
remember that? Like, it was like, oh shoot, like I just, you know, I messed up. I didn't mean to do that, but then they get offended in a way where you kind of have to like now, kind of like kiss ass almost in a way.
Right.
But they should kind of bring that back where, like you said, it's more like integrate, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know how they could, you know what I'm saying? Being that like we're talking, like as we're about to talk about the crashes and stuff, that too much memory, like, you know.
Okay. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
Adding some like these things like is.
I will say this, and Pinpoint Gaming brought something up that's really important, and I wonder if this is actually more the reason why the game is kind of taking the turn it's taking. So he says lead developer and Firaxis veteran Jake Solomon left the studio, and that Heather Hassan which, she's been with them for a minute too. Took over lead development. Hazen. I said Hassan. Hazen. I thought it was a name. Sorry, I'm reading from down here. It's a little smaller, but I do wonder now. Not to steer off too much off the topic of what we're expecting, but I do have some statements to this that I'll save towards the end, or not towards the end, but just after we finish discussing, I guess, what we wish to see, what we hope to see, what we liked from previous games that we wish could be re-implemented. But yeah, so I think we can. So let's just kind of just start hitting the nails on the coffin, or to make the demands clear. One, for sure, bring back the actual character to the advisors, not some sort of
Well, I was
picture icon that just
Yeah. No, and you know what? Wait. First, let these servers be 100% for this, man. However this game functions, we cannot have it crash. So whatever addition that which is whatever, whether it's bringing back anything, this game has to be smooth, bro. Even when we play online multiplayer, we can't. So many times we've tried, or we've attempted, we've played, and then eventually, Jesus, another one. Point proven,
That one was actually there for a minute. I forgot that I had my guy.
Going that way,
No, I had him fortified because I saw a barbarian that was about to attack me, so I was like, let me get my defense up by fortifying him.
Yeah. So honestly, bro, bring in, or if they're kind of keeping it just like.
So yeah, overall, for sure, the main thing you're saying is focus on servers.
Server processor, this thing, the way the game processes, however that tech world. Hey man, I'm not, but I understand that my game crashes too much, and I could probably assume it's probably the PlayStation. Probably, I have actually not tried this. Yeah, not enough power. Maybe not. Again, maybe no. Dude, I haven't tried this maybe on a gaming computer. Maybe this might be a different experience
I can say
on a gaming computer. But I would say this, if that's the case, then let's work on, helping out the people who just play consoles, you know what I'm saying? Because this game is even out for the Switch. So I can't even imagine how many times that
thing
crashes, you know what I'm saying?
Probably kicks you out the game.
And if I'm correct, I think I might be, way off, but I could sworn that you can't even use a huge map. You could only go up to large, or there's a certain because of the RAM, or the way it processes.
I know I play it off my phone from time to time, and it does let me play on
huge.
On huge.
Oh, okay, so that's probably some. I could have sworn you couldn't, but regardless, I mean,
it's a tinier screen. You don't see as much as you see here, and if you do kind of do the zoom out like that, so imagine here it's kind of small on a smaller screen. It's even more smaller, so it's kind of hard to
I thought it's just so small.
But I will say what it would almost seem like between my computer, playing it on the computer, and playing it off my phone.
Is it better on your phone?
I've never suffered the whole, problem you run into when you're playing off the PlayStation.
Yeah,
which is strange to say off my phone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How far did you get to?
I got far, man.
Oh.
I got stupid far. Where the game I already won, I'm just playing now for the sake of domination.
Dang, I might just play. Man, I might get it on the phone then. So why?
It doesn't do it justice.
No, I get you, cause small screen.
Even though the functions are a bit different, a bit. One thing I definitely hate on the phone is that it's sometimes because of how they integrate how you move the units.
Yeah.
It'll project that you already are sending it in a certain way that you weren't trying to send it. Like I don't understand.
like, I hear
So
you. Yeah.
there are problems with the phone version for sure, but like minuscule.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, I mean, that probably might be annoying, but like, I don't know if it's more annoying than the game just completely taking you out. You gotta restart from that one spot that you like
Right.
done past, you know.
Right.
Yeah, man.
No, I hear you. I mean, so yeah, but like Pinpoint Game said is, you know, the game is meant for PC. Like it's made for it's always been a PC game.
Right.
Well, sort of kind of right, because like I said, a lot of people don't know that there was a version of Civilization that existed for the PlayStation 1.
That's crazy.
That game never crashed on me. You know what I mean? Like,
bro, brand new system, dude. Brand new system. Promise. Pin.
Now that current gen should work with Wells. Also, if game keeps crashing, you may need to clean your system. That's fact. That's true.
That is true.
But
we literally, it was probably like when do we try to, because Civ 6, did it come out on the PS4?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But man, but even on the online too, bro, and it wasn't just me, man. It was all of us. We couldn't even play, like, we were so hyped to always play, like, oh, bro, but like it always just kept crashing, and then it wouldn't even let us load the game.
Right.
Remember?
I will say playing it off the PlayStation 5 is a bit smoother than playing it off of here, the PlayStation 4.
I don't know.
It's faster.
You're right. That is true. Like it is a lot faster.
And I run into the whole getting kicked out problem a little less than I do when I'm playing off the PlayStation 4.
So then it could probably be like a memory thing, man. Where I'm like,
I think so. Like I think
because honestly, I you obviously get the PS5 and you only have a certain amount of space. So it's like maybe like you have to actually upgrade your your storage and stuff. Oh man, I should just.
All right, but just to trying to keep this conversation moving, for sure. At least when it comes to the consoles, we need some. Oh, okay. So when it comes to the consoles, we need more. Maybe a better. I don't know what to call it, but. Something that's user friendly to the game, I guess. But again, that's something we want to see fixed. Whether that's on our end or maybe the console, the people that work on the consoles, whatever. Because like when the game does crash, it'll say send the
the report,
and then it's like, all right, I wonder if they're actually looking at this, But okay.
And you don't have that. Oh, you do, right? No, right? You do.
But So all right, cool. Definitely something we definitely want to experience less, or not at all. Well, the PS5 does have the issue of kicking me out. It has kicked me out already a few times. While playing, but again, it's always like later in the game. Like I'm already like, well, I'm not even in Future Era yet. I'm like in the game that I was playing upstairs was like I'm in like maybe the Information Era, and it's already kicked me out maybe twice. Not a lot, not as much as it would on a PS4.
Right? I remember. Yeah, I do.
So
I remember it was horrible. I mean, all I would say is just if there's I guess if they could, if there's a way to let them know, like, hey, like, just focus on this, you know what I'm saying? Because even, like, I think Rev on the PS3, you know what I'm saying? Dude, that shit runs smooth. It ran so smooth with, like, online play, too,
Oh, for sure. But, in all fairness, Civ 6 has so much more things happening than any Civilization so far, right? We're talking about different victories now. You know what I'm saying? New added ways to things to do in the game that buff up your perks and things of that nature.
and give you a different way of winning the game now, right? From like the religious to the diplomatic things that they added, right? The fact that they do have conversation between, like now the characters do talk. These are all things that definitely require more
substantial amount of like.
Yeah, so it makes sense to why you would experience something like this now with this game, because especially on the console, because of just everything it does now. But still seems kind of funny because I can't recall that happening to me on the PC or even on my phone for that matter. So that's kind of a weird thing there. But okay, something there that if the developers of Civ 7 are come across this, and honestly anybody who's as concerned about these situations and what you want to see, make sure you share this. We got to get it to the eyes of Sid Meier's himself. But so that's that. Okay, we definitely just don't want the game to keep crashing on us, even with as big as it is in what you can do now, the larger maps that it has.
Yeah, and I don't need to buy, or I don't want to buy a whole new computer, just to like play a game, of which sometimes I do get convinced I probably want to go ahead and just, convert to a computer user, because now it's almost like you could still play every single game that I play on the PlayStation 5, but I think that's probably something that I gotta kind of learn more about, because I have no clue about any of that stuff. I just know I grew up with a PlayStation and I just know how to use it.
Right. Well, I mean, in general,
and I think that's kind of what this is meant for, for people who just are not hey, and obviously they're not gonna build a computer, or don't know anything about it. Finally, bro. I'm I found the barbarian camp. I'm my guys are gonna die. At least I got that secret society.
Yeah, no, that helps with that, especially. I like that. It's definitely one of my favorite ones. Although I did just learn the Void Singers are not that bad. They're actually.
Oh no! Oh sure. What am I doing?
You can do
attack from me. Attack.
Yeah, I swear. What am I doing?
I don't know, man. I'm a little nervous, bro. Sure, I guess I'll go.
But
here in the cornfield, and hopefully attack! They're getting attacked from the fields.
The rocks are coming out of the cornfield.
Dude.
But
so honestly,
all right.
Well, and I think in a way maybe they do know that, and as we were talking earlier this morning, the PS5 Pro now is coming out. So it's now,
which might be definitely a stronger,
processing, system, that will hopefully hold
what Civ 7 is bringing.
Civ 7 is bringing, and shoot, if it holds Civ 6, okay, bet. Until they, but no, not that. I hope that it doesn't have any issues. But yes, at least they got to bring back all those things we were talking about, especially I was telling you with the whole Rev, when they had where you were able to kind of go into your palace, that would be a cool feature, even with everything else,
a more immersive world.
Exactly.
More immersive world.
Like you said, if I'm talking to my advisor, my science advisor, this man wants to take me to his lab. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey,
or if you're talking to the council.
Exactly.
Have it that you're sitting in a board meeting.
Boardroom, yeah.
Boardroom, that's what I meant. Or even the World Congress. Show us a
round table.
Round table, you know what I'm saying? And maybe
pedestal or something.
And I think it kind of does do that. There's an image of that.
A little, you know
what I'm saying? But get more creative with it.
More immersive,
more immersive. Let us be in the room. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. I'm not looking for look. I know obviously Pinpoint Gaming mentioned better graphics, but damn, what this game does as a whole, it does you know what? Compared to let's compare big games, right? Maybe to some people this game wouldn't seem like it does a lot, but you gotta consider the amount of things you're doing in this game you know what I'm saying, to like a big game like let's just say GTA, right? It just seems like, you know, they were able to just keep adding on DLCs to that game, you know, for the online game. But you know, and obviously with great graphics, right? But you're not building cities.
I hear
you know what I'm saying? You're not you're not at war with, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no you're trying to, you know, civilization is essentially trying to fit the whole world on a screen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then on top of that, now like you want to go more deeper into the city, like
yeah, you know what I'm saying. And so like think about that. And
although
like,
you gotta remember, I can't remember exactly which one it was, but you did have this one for the computer where you were able, like it was more like
no, for sure, no. I'm not. So what I'm trying to get at is there's some things I think we have to be okay with not getting, right?
Right.
Better graphics, like, you know, if you're trying to, you know, we can't expect the graphics to be on the level of something like GTA or Skyrim.
That was like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like
at that point, then I would have to buy myself probably like a game.
You know what I mean? Like, because that's like asking them to do like a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, like, we want you to fit the whole world and all these empires and nations.
Want it all.
You know, and all these things, right? Throne room, palace, exterior decor. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's what we're talking about. Yes.
So yeah, so I feel like more immersive game on that level. Like let's see these things. Let's see the boardroom. Let's see the palace. Let's see the cities. You know, on a.
And it would be dope. Like,
you know?
even like because the way they do it, like you know, the way that like you said, the science advisory advises you, or even like, you know, your culture advisor, you know. It would be cool, like if, like you said, you're you know, in a board meeting, then this guy comes up to you on the side, like, hey man, remember this what we were working on, and gives you like a little side note thing where you could go into the lab now because he wants to show you that. You know what I'm saying? That would be kind of some cool thing. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's for sure.
But that could be a lot to ask for too. Not gonna lie.
No. I feel like, look, you're already kind of asking to have something brought back.
But if it's gonna be brought back, do it for. We hear you. Like, do it for.
Oh yeah, I remember that being a thing too.
What?
What do you? What? Like, so what he's referring to, if I'm correct, is, so you know, like in this game, if you're on a plane, on planes, like your character, your unit can travel more.
Yeah.
So in the old game, not even in Civ Rev, traveling on rivers gives you more squares, you know, spaces to travel.
Yeah, like, you know, for the river though. Like,
yeah.
I hear you. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Like, like the way it is here. Like, I get you. The way it is here, like with like plains. Smooth plains. Yeah, like no hills, no forest. I get you.
You know, which kind of does make sense. Like, you know, you know, you have it that if your unit finally goes on water, like, you know, the ocean, it immediately creates boats to travel. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. In that case, like, if these units are crossing around the river, like, they should be able to create canoes or something to travel down the river. You know,
dude. But actually, bro, that would be cool too, bro. That would be
the vassal states, I feel like, are kind of like what the city states are.
Oh, okay.
But I know what he's referring to. Yeah.
I hear you.
So yeah, it's kind of, that one's.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. No. Well, yeah. So the vassal states, that was an interesting concept actually. Low key was you could even make a vassal state out of you know how when you take over a city, and it says like annex. Remember at one point it was annex city, destroy city, or create a vassal state. Like so you were kind of creating city states of your own, out of cities, and that way. And like, the reason it was a dope concept is because you didn't have to worry about actually overseeing the production of what it was, like, you know, like what you would do your own city, like what you're gonna produce next.
Yeah.
It would literally be its own like city state that's under you as in that same manner. That's what I'm saying.
Like, you wouldn't have to worry about this like whole like suzerain or you know what I'm saying, like that issue of having to like, I get what you're saying, like Like for example, like
So vassal. What I'm saying is vassal states were technically what city states are now.
all like that, you were able to even like our enemies and our enemy state or like enemy players would be able to take them over too and shit.
Well, I mean, they'll go to war with you. Like again, that's what I'm saying. Like it's essentially what the city states are.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
no, but I
the
hear you.
difference is
But you know how you can send like what do you call those guys, man? Or like for city states, you have to send like your like I guess.
no, yeah. You know that couldn't happen. Right, that wasn't a thing. No.
Envoy.
The envoys. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like-
No. Right. So when I say it's a city state, essentially what the vassal states were a city state. What I mean by that is that, you know, like so city states. Once you're the suzerain of it, you still don't oversee the production of what they're doing. They're running themselves essentially, but they're still under you. That's what a vassal state was. So like, you know, you could take over a city. And just, you know, in case you just didn't want, you know, you want them to be part of your empire, but you don't want to actually oversee the like, you know, you don't want to have to actually run it, right? So like you don't have to, so that way you don't concern yourself with, you know, how do you say they're unhappy. You got to create food for them. You got to, you know, there's not enough food. There's not enough this, whatever. Like, you know, like the way that doesn't exist. Like you don't have to worry about that for your city states. You didn't have to worry about that for the vassal states that you would create by taking over certain cities.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty well.
So, but that's what I mean. So it's like essentially that's what a city state is now.
Yeah.
You know, like the city states kind of are the trade-in for the vassal states. I mean, still, he's right. That's still a kind of a cool concept. Still, like, you know, maybe creating that still with like cities that you do take over when you're at war, and if maybe you are just too lazy to like run that city yourself. Yeah, you know, probably.
At least you got a vassal state.
Yeah,
You know, under.
but vassal state and separate of a city state because, like you said, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe maybe they're not so different, really.
You know what?
And now, like you said, like that would the vassal states be treated the same way as a city state, where you can send envoys to switch the influence of power.
And honestly, bro, like you see, the thing is, in that case, like it. I really like. That's why I really hope things go smooth because, like, even for this game, like, what I do like for this game too is how you have your builders, right? And then you have your military engineers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where you could actually like, you know, you have your builders actually like building whatever you need them to build, but then you could also build walls. You know what I'm saying? You could build walls. You could build fortifications. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You know, where like honestly, like it's more like. In depth, at least with defensive, you know, I guess I don't even know what the word would be, but like I said, like you could create a wall, like and it gives you a defensive bonus.
You know what I would like to see them bring back, the low key. Again, we're talking about, and I think this is what it is. We clearly yearn for a more immersive world.
Okay, well that's
move at least one, because the river's gonna protect you. He's not.
I get you. Like,
you're saying, like he's not going to be able to cross over right away.
I hear you. And
I'll say move on,
upgrade.
and then do the promotion. Like I'm helping you. You're essentially my enemy. But what you call it?
I'm already having droughts near me too.
Let's see. So yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like so. Okay, one again, just to help summarize what we want for the Civ 7 developers to get a hold of, you know, like if they watch this, hopefully, you know, one just like, or you know, maybe this is like you said, PlayStation Pro 5 Pro coming out, maybe that's going to be better for whatever they bring forward. But
right.
for sure, it definitely seems like we have a consensus, overall consensus on, you know, between the three of us that's you know, discussing this. It seems like we definitely like the immersiveness that Civ does offer from time to time. And here's the thing, like, I would hope that, like if the servers, if we're gonna get a new console with a, you know, bigger, you know, power to be able to handle what the games are bringing forward, then I would hope, like, all right, you already brought cool things to the table with what we can do in Civ 6, but bring back some of that immersiveness in Civ 7 that allows you to still do these things, You know, as far as like creating different religions.
You know what would be sick?
City state. Hold on.
I know you're gonna agree with me, but go ahead.
Yeah, you know, city states. You know, the diplomatic victories, the science victories, and all that. You know, all that cool. Like what we're doing here
Take
already.
out
Cool.
score victory. We don't need that, guys.
Yeah. Low key.
Like,
Yeah.
cool. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? I guess if you're like playing on some like,
Oh snap! I met you.
oh shoot,
Where are you?
oh I'm north of you then. We're like literally.
Oh, so we're actually neighbors.
Hey,
Cool,
there you
cool.
go. So I guess
Nice.
it's a good thing that we do help each other.
There
We're
you go.
allies.
We're allies, right?
So, well, this is the part where you'll see me and Mike discuss borderlines in our land.
Oh yeah.
This guy over
We
here
definitely have
likes
to come to terms here, man.
This guy likes to freaking somehow think it's fair to take more land and shit. Dude.
Oh, here we go.
Ah, bro.
Lies.
Dude.
Lies.
Dude, this guy's borderlines are like 70, you know what I'm saying, 30, me, you know what I'm saying, like, him, you know what I'm saying, he got 70, I got 30. Swear to God.
Speaks lies, guys.
Look, it's
But
giving you the loyalty borders.
it is on that.
Look at this guy. Now he's taking settlers up north. Nothing.
Okay, hold on. First off, let me explain why that is. Now you got me. Honestly,
Like, bro, that low key don't even do that. My city's literally right
true, but even then, like, it still doesn't.
Oh.
Even doing that wouldn't add all the other immersive things we've kind of been discussing. What we'd like to see.
You know what would be dope? This is actually what actually be real cool.
Like, but I agree. Those two combinations, and then on top of that, what we've kind of been discussing as far as like further immersiveness.
It would be raw as hell. Like the fact that we could actually levy armies from city states. If any like other nation was like, hey, can we like levy your units for this amount or whatever? You know what I'm saying? And actually be like, go ahead, take this amount of soldiers or something.
So yeah, maybe not levy's the word, but yeah, you're right. I get what you're saying. Like, kind of like, but see. That's technically what allies are, right? So when you create, so
I
maybe
hear you. No, I hear you. That's I get what you're saying.
Because you don't just give. So this is what I'll say. You don't just give resources to anybody for a price. Like, yeah, you kind of do, but then at that point, it comes in the with the back deal of a alliance, right?
I get you.
So form alliances, but
you know
I
what?
agree with
This
what
is
you're
why-
saying in the
this
sense
is
of
why-
like it would be a cool concept.
This is why I would only
If
cool concept,
you know
bro.
how like when you are in the make deal
Yeah.
with other empires,
Instead-
among like being able to give trade
Like,
resources,
what-
you can trade units.
That's what I'm saying.
things of
Because
that
instead of
nature.
having to joint wars, you know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
that will actually essentially make your relationship with this guy like bad. Like it would be cool if like maybe like.
Well, no, but
maybe,
think about it. If we're
hear
about
me.
to say that.
No.
Go ahead.
But it would be cool if by trading units that percentage goes lower. Like so, it's just like, hey, I know that you helped them out. You gave them units. And you know, like that will still get like instead of being like
Right. Right.
you know what I'm saying, a -5 impact of being
Instead of like a major negative impact because of the force, having to be forced into a joint war.
joint war, like
Okay, where you actually are at war now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like so okay. Essentially,
I mean, I guess
essentially we're talking proxy wars.
exactly.
That's what we're essentially saying.
Oh my God, I gotta go back to
No,
my.
or see what your damage can be now. Yeah, come on, dude. Don't be a bitch.
Bro.
Dude, you're about to take half his life out.
I know, but then
I would.
I'm nervous about my life. Like, shoot.
Dude, no, because check it out. You have an advantage right now. Look, I have to look. First and foremost, I'm already teaching. This guy wants to complain about me taking territory, and I'm still having to school him on strategies here.
Bro, look.
Look, the reality is you just attacked them. You had the higher ground. You half their life. And at least the cool thing about your unit is you don't have to cross the river to attack them. He has to cross the river to attack you, which takes away his points, offensive points. So you're at an advantage regardless. The only thing that can backfire on you right now is if those spear units decide to move up. Oh man. Hey, but
leave my city state alone.
whatchamacallit, man, see, you already described the city state. I don't have no city state.
Bro, we're right next to each other. You know you're about to send your guys, so you discover the city state.
Dude, no, but it makes no difference. You're already ahead. Anyways, okay, so proxy wars is essentially what we're saying, guys, where you're not in direct war, but because somebody you are cool with is asking for resources, you kind of, whether,
I mean,
obviously in real life, that's what we're in right now.
And
with,
it does do that in Civ 6 because when you do trades with your, or like when you do a certain deal with an ally of yours, and you have like like somebody who I guess is against that person, it'll say on your report like negative.
Yeah, but that's like just for trading.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, for like deal. Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Yeah. Like it's
so
more. You know what I mean? Like exactly.
I would say maybe what it would be is depending what you are still trading, because what it is already you're in a negative point. You're already going down negative in a sense with certain civilizations if you are already allies or friends with another civilization that they're not.
Yeah.
That they're not cool with. So that kind of already hinders your relationship with certain civilizations or empires or nations, whatever you want to call them. But and then obviously, yes, like you said, when you do certain trades, it kind of more negative points. So maybe a point system that, depending what you're actually trading with these civilizations, is how it affects you. But the concept that would be new, and this is a new concept, is proxy wars. For those who don't know what a proxy war is, in case you're not educated in that arena.
Don't worry, I'm with you guys. I'm with you because I heard of it, but I'm saying I never dug to it. Dug into it. It's not in my business, right. But now it is.
Now it is. So proxy wars are pretty much instead of actually being in a direct war with a certain empire or nation. Like right now, technically we are in a proxy war in a sense with Russia because we are helping Ukraine out in their war with Russia, right? And so by extension, we're involved, but we're not directly involved, right? Mm. It's definitely politics in that manner, right? Where like it's I guess a good thing in a sense because it's like, all right, it keeps us from being in a direct war where it can cause major problems. Proxy wars still can be a thing.
It can still be a problem,
right? Because I'm sure Russia ain't happy that we're allowing, I guess, Ukraine to survive. Giving them a fighting chance. Yeah. But
poor guy, man.
But that's essentially what a proxy war is. Like, like we're,
but that's realistic.
By extension, we are, involved, but not really directly involved.
Yeah, that would be cool to add that to the game.
If they add that to the game as a concept, that's not that bad. I think that's actually a cool concept because essentially what I love about Civ 6, starting off at Civ 5 to Civ 6, that they brought in is these more realistic concepts of how the world works, from religions that you can create that are a factor into how the world works. Culture, diplomacy, so these are functions that actually do exist. So yeah, I would like to see a proxy war type thing being added to the mix. Essentially, that's what I feel civilization has been doing throughout the years, is trying to add new concepts that are actual real life factors, things that do happen in real life,
Yeah.
So that's cool. So yeah, more immersive world, maybe new features like a proxy war. That'd be cool. Again, it's definitely a more realistic theme. In real life now, as we can see, as we're living in it, we're not really involved in direct wars. And whether you agree with that, whether you agree with that with those politics or not, it is a thing that does exist. So it would be kind of a cool thing to see in civilization. I'm trying to think what else. And let's go back to the comment section. Maybe there's something we're missing here. Okay. So more empires. I'm gonna get back to the more empires thing. Let's talk about something else you brought up.
Okay, go ahead.
Possible storylines.
Oh,
right.
That's actually
so.
Yeah.
rivals during game, right? So I would say this: Civ isn't that kind of game, but where you do get a storyline, kind of, and maybe in these aspects of the game that Civ does have, maybe since we're already asking for a more immersive world within just the regular, you know, game setup of like whether you're online or whether you're playing on the hot seat or just yourself. We're asking for an immersive world there, so hopefully they can deliver. What we can also hope that, to what you're asking for as far as storylines are concerned, is in Civ, I can't think off the top of my head what it is, but you have the single game, and then you have multiplayer, which is internet or internet or online or / hot seat, and then you have another bar that I think they're called.
Oh, play scenarios. Oh no.
There you go. Scenarios.
No, that's in single player though. That's in single player.
No. It isn't. Or no, yeah, it is. You're right. Well, I think See, I'm thinking of another game. It used to be separate.
Yeah,
but
it used to be separate.
My whole point is that the play scenarios are technically storylines of real historical things. That in that aspect of the game, of that function of the game, I would like to see a more immersive storyline concept that allows you to kind of play the game as you like it, and at the same time offer a more immersive dialogue concept of historical things that took place.
For example, as we could explain as one of the scenarios it's actually like the Viking raid era where where the Vikings were just raiding every freaking town they went to, and so basically that's kind of the concept of what they almost start you even at seat 2, like kind of like where you got to go onto land, raid the town. You could even create and either raise it or just destroy it entirely. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it would be cooler though if it would add though just besides all the, because I guess you got like 3 different Vikings, I guess you could say, in the game. It'd be cooler though to add more enemies, because it wasn't just the Vikings that were a threat to the Vikings. There was pirates too. So at the end of the day, it would be cool to add, like you said, more. What? You were getting a hero?
Yeah.
Oh wow, bro. Oh, you got Sinbad. So what? What's weird, dude? Actually, I've been playing this recently, and I think they took out the fact that, or to get multiple heroes. I think you could only get a certain amount of heroes now.
No, wait, what? No, what do you mean?
I swear, bro, because I started playing it, and I have monuments everywhere. All my, all the cities I create the monuments first to get a hero. But dude, eventually I was I would create a monument trying to create or get Maui or something, and then eventually somebody else will get some, and I'm waiting, and I've discovered him already. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I haven't discovered him, but in my head, where I'm okay, somebody else got him, and then eventually later on in the game, it says, oh, this person has claimed. I'm like, what the hell? What?
Well, so okay. Well, there's 2 things to remember. One, if somebody else has them, you can't obviously spawn them. Also, you have to remember you have to discover the hero before you can actually summon them.
No, that's what I'm saying. So it literally would show me the discovery, and when I went to go see who claimed them, it wouldn't show that anybody claimed them, and I would be okay, maybe it's just I gotta wait.
But
see, this. Now, look, you see right here, so it says hero discovered.
Yep.
And I would look at hero, nobody discovered.
Okay.
I had Himiko. And who else?
Okay, so the only other obstacle that left here, and you can answer just let me know if this was what you're not realizing. You do know that in order to summon multiple heroes, each hero has to come from an individual city. You can't have more than one hero come out of one city.
One city, yeah, no, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so that is weird. I will say that, but I don't think that's not true, because I was playing with Josh the other day. And I have multiple heroes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I had Sinbad, I have I have I forget her name. It's essentially Mulan though. I think it's Mulan. I think it's Mulan. Right? Yeah. Mulan. I have Mulan, and I have there's a third person I have. Who's it? Oh, I had the twins.
Oh, okay.
The twins.
See, and that's like, I mean, you know, essentially all the people you just mentioned is exactly what I wanted to get because like I grabbed Himiko and I grabbed
Himiko's great. I love Himiko.
and what's her name? The other one.
Helen?
Who?
Is it Helen or no? You said her, so I'm thinking of females.
Yeah, no, it is a female. But just
or Oya?
Greek, no, the Greek god.
Yeah, no, it's not Helen. It's Hippolyta.
Hippolyta, yeah.
You knew something with that.
Yeah, Hippolyta. When I had her, and you know, Hippolyta's thing is that.
Okay, hold on. Okay, my bad. Not to cut you off, but see, so get back to the point. Hold on, we kind of ventured off. You're trying to make another point here about the heroes, but so the immersive, the storyline concept, I think. More so, yeah, like obviously, yeah, add more details that are probably more realistic to that time period of the storyline, but he said Punani. No, dude, you just don't know how to use her. But no, I get what he's saying.
She comes in clutch though. I'm not
yeah, no, she can definitely come in clutch.
From
far range.
Yeah, 4 I think is 4.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly.
4 3 tiles.
Far.
That's pretty
Very
clutch.
far, and her attacks get stronger as her time alive progresses. So she does more damage as time progresses. She can eventually become a great siege.
Look who I found.
Oh no, there's somebody else with us.
Oh no. It could possibly be a city state though, because that could probably be like an a production.
Can't. It's hard to tell if there's 2 lines there or 1.
It's 2 lines.
Then it's not a city state.
Damn.
It's see, because city states have 1 line, empires have 2, like 2 dotted lines. See, it's just 1. And if you go to even yours, just go to yours.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? It's hard to tell if it's just 1 or 2.
No, I feel you. Like, you know what? Oh, no, I could see the difference. It's like longer dotted lines, and then this ones are shorter. So you're right. That's a. Ooh.
Well, that too. Oh yeah, that too. But it's for me. It's always been the two lines. That. Okay. Anyways, storylines. She is a fool of a took. Oh, but to where he says, "Give me Troy, give me the Days of Christ, give me the Wild West, give me No Hunt the Blood." True, no. See, but see now you're kind of diving into the territory of another discussion, something I want to talk about when it comes to Civ. That I'm kind of like curious on what's happening in the back scenes. Who, like, when you brought up the new lady is going to be in charge, and what does that mean for
approvals?
Yeah, well, okay, hold on. I'm trying my hardest to finish certain things before we move on to something else. What I will say, so to your point of the storylines, I feel like what I'm thinking, and maybe this is what I would assume he's referring to, is like, so like let's just say like, yeah, you brought up the barbarian storyline or the Viking raids, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking more cinematic moments that add to a more storyline visuals of making you feel like you're actually there and things are actually happening according to how you're moving. And maybe, because like think about it, the reality is the game, those scenarios themselves are designed for you to play out how it's supposed to play out, but then if you don't meet the criteria, you fail the story. So it still works. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like we're not necessarily saying like you can choose a different outcome. No, obviously the game already has it that if you don't meet the criteria, like let's say if you do, like for me personally, I was recently doing the Alexander.
Oh yeah, the Conqueror of Alexander.
Yeah, something like that, whatever it's called, right? When you're at war with Persia, and you have to somehow take over a certain amount of cities. By a certain turn to fulfill the storyline. So in that same manner, like you still have to do that, but maybe at certain achievements throughout the, throughout you doing the conquest or the whatever the scenario is, different cinematic moments of like like you see Alexander talking to somebody, you see maybe a scene where the Persian leader himself is like, you know,
I do gotta admit, what I do
Things
like
like
that.
that.
They have added to for this game, at least, was that like you can't be a warmonger without anybody being like suspicious of you. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
in Rev, you could totally just get away with killing everybody and no one would like notice.
Oh, the denouncing, you mean?
Yeah, like the denouncing, it wouldn't happen until like really like wow, you took out like 3 different, you know.
I will say this though.
Now it's
I
like,
feel I feel it could be overkill sometimes though with that.
no,
Like,
bro, like it's actually it's more realistic
no,
in that area.
no.
because
What I mean by that is this. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that.
This guy.
I don't feel.
Doesn't
I
think
don't.
I notice him, bro.
I don't feel every empire.
Fucking guy, like. You're another guy.
I don't feel every empire would react in the manner of being upset that I'm taking over a city, right? So, and what I mean by that is like they kind of already have this aspect where like depending what leaders are in the game, they like certain things according to their character, right? So if you have another leader on the board that is a warmonger, you know, strength respects strength is my whole point. Strong leader, like, you know, like
Oh, like you're saying, right? Like that. Not every single character would actually
denounce you for being a warmonger.
I mean,
Some would
right,
actually
right,
respect you.
right?
You
Because
understand?
technically, you got people like nowadays. Where, I mean, like, again, like it's bad. I guess bad time to bring it up, but like you know, I guess.
What are you, Russia?
That's what I was gonna say. Like
Well-
in that instance, we're talking about like Russia. Not
Yes, no, that's
you got other people. Do just so happen to have people in this world be like, you know what? I support this guy.
Yeah,
going.
They
Do what you
wouldn't
gotta
make
do,
a fuss
bro.
about it because to them they're like,
That doesn't even.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
It doesn't have nothing to do with them. It's
Yeah,
nothing,
like-
it doesn't affect it doesn't affect them.
yeah, like they have their own lands they're trying to conquer.
Right, like.
You know, you conquer yours. They don't care. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that's how they would look at it. You know?
Respect. You know, I would take over my land.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's like how they're looking at it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
But I see what you're saying.
That's what I mean.
That would be that. You know.
that's what I mean when I say it's
Because
overkill.
yeah, it is overkill in that area because
Because somehow everybody's mad at you.
mad at you, and then
Well-
you really have no room to attack at all. You know?
Yeah,
So
I
that's
mean,
why.
here's the thing. Sometimes it's not even that you're trying to be a warmonger. It's just that you know. Let's okay. I'll say this. I don't like.
I get
I'm gonna
you.
tell you what I don't. I'm gonna tell you what they should fix. Maybe because tell me how you feel about this. You have to somehow discover different diplomatic like alliances. Which all right, cool, whatever. I guess maybe it took them in real life a while to figure out like, hey, we can create alliances under certain standards.
Yeah.
Whether it's a religious alliance or military alliance, whatever. All right, cool, whatever. Maybe that took time. Maybe. What I don't like is that you have to also discover different casus bellis to justify the war.
Yeah.
When like early on they're already trying to convert all your
All your
cities,
cities.
and I can't create a holy
then,
war,
or even
you know,
them
or-
trying to settle so freaking near you.
Yeah, so
like,
then that would be
And, like, you know
what's
what?
the case of Billy on that one? Is it a colonial war? You know what I mean? Like, and somehow you can't. It's not that you're.
trying to be a warmonger, you're just a serial killer.
Exactly.
No, but you know what? It like I guess in a way like you would feel like in real life. I think what you would think I guess you would feel at the time is that like a respect type of thing. Like, hey, respect my boundary. Like I would hope that you don't cross it because like common sense, I wouldn't do it. But like now you're making me worried that you're even.
Or no, but even like no, because then that's like me saying, hey, I'm a pussy. I don't want the challenge early on.
Oh look, this is the guy we gotta see. So,
This guy.
So like we were just talking before we started the game, we were able to see who was the leaders. Oh no,
Right.
they changed it. It's he's orange now. He's orange. Okay, they changed it. So we Mike. Well, before we
yeah.
started the game, it showed that Mike and or how you even say this, Menelik or Menelik?
Menelik, yeah.
Menelik had the same empire colors, so I thought we thought Mike was gonna be at war. It almost seemed kind of realistic, being he was Rome and these guys. But Yeah.
All right, but so that's the thing I think should be fixed. Though, like like it's like, hey man, if they're already trying to convert my cities, if they're already trying to like settle close to me, I should be able to declare certain wars early on, which I think was a concept, or like in one of the earlier Civ. Like you didn't have to wait to discover that.
Yeah, like there was no turn to like you didn't have to denounce to like I get what
You
you're
know what I
saying.
mean? Like, and you didn't have to discover that type of war.
Yeah.
It was kind of like already the moment they violated a certain thing, whether it was and you asked them not to. At that moment, you could already do it. Like you didn't have to discover that because it just makes sense. Like, all right, you're trying to, proselytize my cities to your religion.
Or
you're trying to settle close to my cities.
Affect their loyalty.
You know what I mean?
Essentially, but like you know what too though, like,
or even if like you're attacking now my city state, and I still don't have somehow. I shouldn't have to discover the clear war of Protectante, whatever.
Yeah.
If I'm like now you've attacked my city state, I have to go to war with you.
Yeah,
and that shouldn't be a.
As soon as I get the advisor or the you know what I'm saying the announcement like, oh damn, I gotta help him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like, oh, I gotta wait till my. I mean, I don't know, bro. I mean, I guess. But yeah, I get you though. I do hate that it does take a little long to be able to.
Yeah, sometimes it's like you gotta wait.
Or even war on liberation. You need, technically, I mean, like any, let's say, city or country that needs to be liberated. You already know America's on that, and they're like, oh damn, okay, you gotta help them out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you got the resources, we'll see. But. Yeah, I was like, how are you able to see a whole? I forgot you had said that. Hopefully you find a shoreline, the barbarians thing.
I know, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
I think there's one by mine, bro. My city, you should take them out.
Oh, yeah? Oh, nice. Okay.
Low key.
What was I saying? Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's something they need to fix. Like, I personally, in my opinion, I feel like I shouldn't have to wait to discover certain, like, like, are we that dumb? Like, are my people, my civilization so stupid, what I'm saying, that we wouldn't know to declare a holy war against somebody that's trying to convert my cities contrary to my religion? Would I not know to call it a war protectante if they're attacking, my city-state? Would I not know to call it a colonial war or maybe an expansionist war when they're clearly trying to come into what could be considered rival territory? You know what I'm saying? Conflict of territory.
Bro, I hate this. You guys suck, bro. Alright, so now I gotta find somewhere to freaking settle because these guys are so close to me.
And now we're coming close to each other. Shit.
Yeah, and then this guy, look, where's his guys? Oh, they're still right. They're right here. This is where his guys are at.
No. Me?
Yeah.
No, right there.
Your settlers.
No, my settlers are. Okay, I'll tell you. Like, this is okay. See, we're just talking about territorial conflict, right? So go back up.
It's conflict.
Slow down. No. I'm gonna tell you how I know.
Oh, because of Lake Larius, right? Oh, that's you right there.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. That territory is me. So up a little bit more is where my unit is. Now, what I'll tell you is this is how you know I'm right on thinking that's my territory, though, like that land.
This
because
guy,
listen.
Oh my God!
You see how you're losing loyalty points if you were to try and settle there. What I'm saying is clearly you're too far. You would be too far out from your own city at that point. Where like that's where my guy's about to build the city. I'm fine. I don't see negative points there because I'm not far off from my city. You know what I'm trying to tell you, dude?
Yeah, I hear you, bro, but I don't like that you're that close to my city-state, my guy.
Here's my thing. So I'm gonna explain my strategy here, guys. It's not that I'm trying to impose any further.
Bro. Yeah.
So what it is personally for me, I'm first. It sucks that I'm even having to give this guy kind of my strategy of winning here. But I'm gonna tell you what it is. When you're already surrounded by other civilizations, you want to at least have 1 to 2 cities in between you
To be honest,
between you and the other city or the other civilization from your capital is my whole point. It's you put yourself in a vulnerable position, or even if you already kind of forced to be next to somebody with your capital, you're in a vulnerable position when your capital is already the first kind of city that they can attack from another civilization. So you want, if you have the ability to create cities surrounding your capital between you and the other civilizations around you, that's what you want to achieve. So that there's other cities that they have to take over before they can actually attack your capital. That's the reason why why I felt the need to already go north, because all right, well, you're between him and Ethiopia, they're to my north. I have to now start creating a bubble of other cities protecting my capital. That's the strategy there. So now back to the storylines, right? That would be a cool concept, I think, for the scenarios.
dude, like.
Dude,
keep going. Back to the story.
this guy's crying over here.
Oh my God.
He's not built for this.
This guy, bro.
Just go there. Yeah, go right there. No, hold on. What was I saying? Wait, go. Yeah, just build the city.
Bro.
Just whatever, dude. Just build the city. Well, I wouldn't say there. -4.
That's better than -20.
That's where my city's about to be. Is what I'm trying to tell you, dude. And why are you going so far? You're going so far to the point where like your next city is not even going to be able to connect with this city. Like as far as like the amount of spaces tiles you can take. Anyways, who cares? My whole point is better. I agree with Rob. I think for the play scenario aspect of the Civ, it would be a cool concept for them to like create more. And it kind of goes back to that, like how you said, when you send certain. And here's the thing, and even those scenes, whether they're as good of graphics in a sense to like that mimic the intro of the game, it could be that, or I'm even as cool if it's like it's still kind of like the more game-based graphics, kind of like Civ Rev, where like when you send the delegation, you see, the bears or whatever you sent their way, doing a thing. But it's like you actually somehow see a version of that, but like as your leaders, as those leaders, just having a conversation or just whatever, like whether it's Alexander and his generals talking, but still as those units. If in case you don't want to go too deep into the graphics of those scenes, like whatever.
It'd be kind of cool too, like if like one like. Honestly, like another cool like concept that that Civ added that honestly it kind of lives up to its own potential, I guess. But like I could see something more out of it, which is the spies. The spies is actually a really cool like I guess what do you call it? A unit that you could use. Just being that with what they do, like you could definitely siphon people's funds and stuff like that. You could destroy dams, you know what I'm saying, so that their production kind of just slows down and they can focus on that. There's different types of things, man. But like one thing I would like to see, I guess, from the spies is like assassinations. Like not trying to be a serial killer on steroids, but. It's just a more realistic, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be crazy, like, if, let's say if a spy, goes to, let's say if you just discovered a great person, it'd be crazy if the spy, could assassinate that person, and then you can't use that person's, perks or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
That would make the game challenging.
That would make it very challenging, bro, because
that kind of already is a thing when they can assassinate the governors.
Yeah, or they just take them out for which is cool. That's actually a cool concept too. Again, like that's sort of like as close as you would get to any like I guess assassination type.
Yeah, because somebody has to replace.
Yeah.
The governor.
Yeah. Well, no, the governor just comes back. Oh, I get you. Yeah, I get you. Like it's the same governor. Okay, yeah, it's the same governor in the game, but like you.
On that note, though, I don't know if you remember. It's let's talk about the governor actually, the function of the governor in this game.
Okay.
Obviously, each governor has a different perks that they offer. Now, I don't know if you remember in the older Civs, like I think, like actually, if you just go back to Civ 5, and this is what it was, and you Civ after below that, before this game, there was no such thing as governor characters that you can units or whatever that you can implement.
Right.
But every city essentially had a governor. I don't know if you remember that. And then you had the ability to determine how the governor runs the city. What I'm looking for. Automatically, in a sense, like.
Got a little closer now, so we're cool.
You heard what I'm saying?
No, I hear you. No, I don't remember that. You said that happened in Rev? I don't remember.
No, any Civ prior to this one, each city had its own. Like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna show you.
Hey, this guy's already trying to be cool with me, bro. I think he's trying to attack you, bro.
For sure. It's like, hey, bro, we gotta stick together.
Coffee.
Damn.
Appreciate it, man. I got my coffee though.
Right. What was I saying?
Just for right now, guys. Not trying to build. Not trying to worry about having a.
I'm trying to think. What was I going with that? What was I saying? Damn.
Well, talking about the governors. Yeah.
Right. All right. I'm gonna show you what I mean. Right. Like, I'm gonna essentially give you what I'm trying to say. Once I get to my turn. Where technically the governor function used to be. Okay. So, see you right quick. So you this way.
Yeah, you got so much down there, bro. Oh, shot. Sorry for first not making fun of your names at all. Not at all, man. I think anybody who watches these should understand that our humor probably goes all over the place here.
Alright.
Yeah,
actually, hold on there. Hold on.
Low key.
So, alright. Managed citizens. Usually, and this is how kind of. Honestly, I don't even know how to do this in this game. How to, let's see.
Well, I think it's it locks to the whatever you're probably collecting from there,
Oh, I see. So it's locking something, yeah. So, but before, kind of like.
But essentially, if you notice, go back. You see how you have one person in your city-state. He's only gonna work on that one.
Right. Okay. So maybe the more you get, the more you have citizens, the more you can actually.
Yeah, because even
where they're gonna go.
Yeah, because once you actually build stuff like a builder on there, like something right there, it's not gonna get. I'm not sure if it gives you a second citizen, but I doubt it. So I think the citizen ends up going to the incense instead of working on the copper.
I don't know how it works exactly, but what I'll say is this: my whole point, what I was trying to get at, is essentially like this function. Where I'm gonna dictate what the citizens are gonna focus on, what the city is gonna produce, even being able to see city details and things like that. All this, let's see if they even have it. Maybe they still do. See, but all this was under the function of governor, and then so you can determine how you want the governor to run your city for you. Where it would even self-produce certain things for you.
Yeah.
So if you wanted it to focus on military, it would constantly
give you
units or work on but mind you, this is probably why it's different now, is because this was also, so maybe even Civ 5 didn't have it, I don't know, but this was before they created districts. You know, like,
Yeah, the districts does
So-
change things a lot too.
But,
I don't mind it, but it's just it does change.
no,
things.
yeah, no, I don't mind. I don't mind the different districts. That is what it is.
I just
but-
but it would be cool to be more immersive with those things too, though. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
for sure.
And like, so
For
if you
sure.
got your districts, it would be cool because you could literally connect all these districts with roads and stuff like that. As you guys can see, the little line going down. That's Mike's little trader type.
You know what I would like to see though
Uh,
is
who are you trading with already, by the way?
with the city state. It's the only option I had at the time.
Why is he even going? Isn't he north of you though?
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Nalanda or whatever it is?
But why are you bringing it up?
Because the road, look at the road, is going south.
Oh no, dude, just you're funny.
Oh, to your okay, it goes to your city state or your state.
In my city.
Oh, Rome. Okay, that's your capital. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you first had it to go into
No, but that's one of the perks of Rome is that between their cities and the capital, it builds roads automatically for it. That's
Oh,
like
damn.
because that's technically what Rome was known for, is creating roads for trade and you know, so that's why it's like a perk of theirs.
Oh, that's dope. Well,
Yeah.
that's cool, man. See, that's dope.
But what did I say? Man, I'm kind of losing myself here. So the governor function, there you go, where you can kind of like you were able to like dictate how the governor was going to run your city. The reason I'm wondering if this is worthy for discussion is because now in this game, you only have a finite number of governors you can use with certain perks, which is a cool concept, but then it's like if you create more cities than you have governors, then certain cities don't have governors, and that's kind of like a weird thing, you know what I mean?
yeah, like you gotta, yeah.
You know, and not that these governors per se allow you can still technically dictate what your cities are doing. So I guess that's why it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's where do we like that? Do you know? Does it matter? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Does it matter? Does it not? You know, so you're just gonna have certain cities that are functioning at a certain rate with certain perks because the governors you do have established, while others are just going to be running the way they run according to how it runs normally because, you know, some cities won't have governors in it, you won't have a governor in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or do we prefer you dictate how the governor runs your city without extra perks that come from governors? Or maybe what we're looking for is not, maybe they shouldn't be called governors. Maybe they should be called senators, you know?
That actually, yeah, I hear you.
You know what I mean?
That's a good concept.
And even when you think about it, like the fact that they're called governors, when essentially like, and this is a part, you know, again, and I don't know, like, if this is something we should consider here, but even now when you think about it, like, you build a city, and it's essentially a city, but it almost works as a state. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like the way I always thought about it is like one big city per state, right?
Yeah.
You know, like, so obviously if you're America, you build, and granted, we're, I think maybe the reason I'm even thinking about it in this term is because we live in a world now where there are states and cities in states, where obviously then, considering ancient times or, you know, those eras of even like Rome, it was only like cities, you know, like, you know what I'm saying, it was like Rome, the city of Rome, and then the territory that belonged to Rome, and then you had, you know, the city of Troy and whatever, so forth and so forth. The concept of the complexities of states is more modern, you know.
Yeah.
But I'll just say that technically, why are you calling them governors? Or I guess maybe that's what they were back in the day. But, you know, again, I'm thinking, shouldn't cities have mayors? You know what I'm saying?
Mayors. Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe
Or
maybe that's my issue. Maybe the issue that I'm struggling here with is I'm thinking governors on a more modern term. You know,
Like-
governors run states.
Right, like I see what
You
you're
know?
saying. Like at this point, it's like okay, you make a state, right? And let's say you make, but like right here we're building cities. But like let's say I think at this point, like now, I think we deserve states. You know what I'm saying? Where they where you build a city, right? And then freaking guy, bro. Always taking my favorite ones, bro. And I mean, I think if you create these cities, right? Like, let's say if you're like with the specialty districts,
Yeah.
I think it's like almost like how you see Illinois, right? When you think about Elk Grove, right, village, what would
Right.
you think about? You know, you think warehouses, industrial work, you know what I'm saying? And it all, that's actually like kind of when you enter Elk Grove Village, they have the water tower now that says that too, like we welcome your business or something like that.
Right.
So it's like they like literally converted their town to
Water, dude.
yeah to a like industrial work, you know what I'm saying, town,
Right.
city town, where like that's where like essentially where
The districts come
the
into play.
district comes into play, right? Like that's like essentially what we should now be calling cities now. You know what I'm saying? The special districts instead of calling them special districts, or maybe even calling them special districts, but even having the option to like change the name of it. Like you know that this is a special district of like commercial hubs and you know,
Right.
industrial, but now you can call it, you know what I'm saying, whatever, Chicago, you know what I'm saying, the commercial hub, you know what I'm saying, or you know what I mean? That would
Right.
be kind of cool in a way.
No, for sure. I get what you're saying. But yeah, maybe that's what we're, the reality is it's the game still, and this is the interesting part about Civ is that it definitely is in the territory of like, even though the game progresses to obviously more modern eras, it still works within the framework of a more ancient time,
Yeah.
you know. But so all right, let's see if we can bring this back.
Right, so 7, right, coming out. This is expectations that we got for. We have a lot of expectations, as you guys see. We have played Civilization for a very long time. We've had pros and cons for each one that we played, and they've delivered and yet not delivered at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're trying to get a balance of more delivery, like instead of cons, you know, like I mean, like, I don't know, maybe it's too much to ask for. I don't think it is too much, but maybe it is. But I think that I mean, as you guys see, yeah, we have a lot of expectations. We've played this game long enough to feel and think to know that we deserve, you know, just a little bit more quality and more attentiveness, right? I should say on this game, like, you know, to me it's like, you know, you this is now your 7th series, you know what I'm saying, like, or actually, to be honest, I guess you'd say 9th, you know what I'm saying, right, or 10th, you know,
You gotta
because
keep about
Rams,
the games, in
the
between that,
sub ones, you know,
that weren't numbered,
Yeah.
they were, given a certain title.
So I would say, being that this is already at your, you know, like, you're already at a high caliber, you know, being with all these games already that are like, really like, I don't know if with it, because to be honest, if you gotta think about it, now we're talking like, I guess to get back into this situation or this topic is now, we're talking about 2K and Fire Access here, right? But this is 2K
Which-
games, so
yeah.
now you think now we got to talk about 2K24. You know what I'm saying? It's all 2K game, sports related. You know what I'm saying? I mean, bro, they're all over the place. You know, they're. I mean, 2K has a wide variety of games, bro. Like, so I guess I would want to think, or I would like
They
to say.
have the budget for
Well, I know they have the budget. I just want them to put the importance of this game a little bit more further. Like maybe not as. I mean, I know asking for it to be as close to like to be worked on like I said, all the 2K sports games. Like that's probably a little bit much to ask for, because we already know that the higher demand would be sports games. But we got players. You know what I'm saying? Like this. I would like for them to put this at the top of their list. Is what I'm saying. Don't I want them to take this from a top C tier, you know what I'm saying, and put it to a top B tier now, or maybe even A, because to be honest, I feel like I've seen gameplays of this of other people playing this. It's obviously you have the people, you know what I'm saying, that you're still creating the game, you know what I'm saying. You still have the fans, you still have the people, supporting, So it's don't forget about them, you know what I'm saying, because this game, I don't want it to die, I don't want to be. I actually want this game to be where, my son comes out to me and be like, hey, Dad, have you ever played Civ 25? And I'm like, kid, you know what I'm saying? Let me show you what a real ruler is, you know what I'm saying? And just go in and, do my thing, That's my point. And hopefully by that time, it's immersive, VR, stuff, you know what I'm saying? You're in the console for real, you know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up, guys?
Well, I would say that you're saying that, and it kind of reminds me of certain things that I wanted to talk about, because obviously, he brought the change in hierarchy as far as the lead developer goes for the game. He said that obviously, or that the new lady in charge, I'm assuming is a lady. Nowadays, I guess we don't know, but I'm gonna assume it is a woman because her name is Heather. Which leads me to my next, I guess, thing. So here's the thing. Apparently, she was the lead developer on Marvel Midnight Suns.
See, that's another 2K
and
game.
He said she has a good resume to games she's developed for 2K, right?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So here's, I think, something that I kind of noticed as the newer games came out, and especially this game, where I wonder, are we?
If that's the case, my guy, I played Midnight Suns.
But that's a whole different game, though.
I know. So, but if this is the case, I would tell Pinpoint right now, the graphics might not be changed. We might.
Yeah, those graphics really work.
Looking at Midnight Suns, I was like, oh my god. I had to kind of adjust my mindset to okay, man, Heather, hey man, I have nothing against. I'm not a sexist, but let's do this. I'm with you on this. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like somebody's gonna be I don't know, gonna be oh, this guy's a sexist. Oh, now a female can't make a gay. I just want it to be known. I'm in support of this. He's still more down that way. Really? He is. Trust me, he is. He's gonna come up. He's on the shoreline.
All right. Damn, somebody did the great path. So. What I will say to you, what you're saying though, is also, my thing with her, in general with Civilization, what I was getting at is that, clearly, well, for those who don't know, 2K wasn't always the game designers of Sid Meier's Civilization. I can't remember how far back Fire Axis goes with them. But the reality is there's certain elements of the game, certain things about the game that got taken out that I wonder what was the move behind it, right, and why. And now it has me curious if maybe what it is that they're how do you say right there, okay. Alright.
I was in there closer, man. Relax.
Alright, I see you, dude.
At least we have a border, bro. This guy's trying to create his own border over here by himself. At least, you know what I'm saying, there's a wall. There's a division.
I see you. But the whole point is okay, so let me just get to it. I wonder if this is because of 2K games.
Well, trust me, I'm watching this guy too, bro. I'm getting my military up right now, bro. I'm serious.
Is it 2K? Like I don't know if it's the 2K games per se, like if it's their fault or Fire Axis, or maybe it's just the reality of a lot of these companies from different IPs, different elements of entertainment, from music to movies to gaming, are now being, I don't even know what other word to use other than, you got people that have very progressive frameworks, very, maybe, I don't know, left leaning, so to speak, or, not to get into politics, but it seems like politics has infiltrated almost every aspect of life. Like you can't watch a movie now without getting bombarded with some sort of political message of ideology, that might be counter to what you believe in. Music, same thing. Now all of a sudden artists have to be political activists and things of that nature. TV shows, all that, even down to gaming, right? And maybe not. And luckily, maybe not as what's what I'm looking for, as abrasive, is not what I'm looking for. Maybe not as heavy as you see in the other industries, but I think for sure it's kind of already happened in that industry. But what I'll say is where I noticed it happening in Civ is that, and I don't know if you remember this, there was a point in time in the game where you had characters like King David, King Solomon.
Yeah, I remember.
That obviously are from anybody who's honest knows historically they are true characters, but it would seem that the reason they no longer exist is because possibly there's people that work for the developing of the game of Civ that are maybe, I don't know if the word is anti-Semitic, and I say that, just because, to a certain degree, right? More so because, you probably argue, the argument could be made like, well, you could at least still create a Jewish religion, you could still create a Christian religion, all these different religions you can create. But that's as far as that goes.
Yeah.
And even like the prophets, like there's only like one great prophet that's of Christian origin. Other than that, like there is no other tethered aspect that used to exist. And even then, I thought to myself as I thought about it, I'm like, man, interestingly enough, like, yeah, you could have, there was characters such as King David that you could choose as I think he was like a general, right?
Yeah.
And then you had Solomon, who was like a builder.
Builder? Builder was like a merchant or something like that.
No, he was different for one of those, like, I think in Civ 3 he was a builder, and in Civ 4 he became, or even maybe Rev,
I think
became a merchant. Due to the aspects of his
wise
rulings. And then there was actually a point where he was also, because of what you're saying, he was also a like a science, because it was wisdom or like some sort of smartness, like something like that,
Oh, you're right. Yeah. I think that was still rap too. Like,
So, but my whole point is like, and that was, obviously like, all right, if you're having these characters, that means you acknowledge at least to a certain degree and believe that what's in the Bible, and obviously in the Bible, and even the Torah or the Pentateuch, whatever, and the doctrines of Jewish belief, whatever, that obviously is the Old Testament, which is the same as the Bible. You have to believe that that's a historical document, right? I did always find it funny though that the game never acknowledged Israel as a nation, from whether you want to
city-state. Like,
well, now they do just Jerusalem, but even that is,
Jerusalem,
but
right.
even that's a tricky way of going about it, because many empires have ruled over Jerusalem,
Yeah.
which is why they have it as a city-state.
Yeah.
You know, and it's been under many different, like I said, empires, where you can't get in trouble for just having it as a city-state and not saying that Jerusalem first came to existence because of the nation of Israel,
Right.
the empire of Israel back in the day. You know, acknowledging its history. I feel like the reason they can't do that is because due to the obviously, well, not that they can't, they can't because they're bound by their politics, and you know, because when you get into discussions of who has rights over the land of Israel or whatever, if you want to call it Palestine, you know, and then again it's always arguments like, oh, the historical you know, like these people were here, whatever, but then you know the argument will always be, well, then if we're going to talk about, you know, the history of it, then you know, then you'll have like, you know, the idea of like people saying, well, Israel technically dates this far back, but then they don't want to, but then the argument has become that this no longer is considered historical document, like, you know, that they'll negate it as a historical document, and for that reason they don't want to use, which again, it's kind of a funny concept even to hear from somebody, I guess, who would be Muslim, because, well, your documents technically share similar things, and they're supposed to be, if you believe it's all historical, but then again, their documents don't have everything that's also in the Old Testament. They exclude a lot. You know, they really only follow, you know, certain prophets, you know.
Yeah.
But prophets of old, I should say. But anyways, the point is clearly, to a certain degree, they never really acknowledged Israel as a nation, past tense or present tense for that matter, because, like, all right, even like in my mind, I thought to myself, like, damn, okay, even if you didn't want to acknowledge that historically they existed as a nation, you still don't even acknowledge them, and probably because, like, in your mind, you're like, or maybe they're like justifying it by saying, well, they're a very young nation. They've only existed, you know, since the late 40s. You know, till now, right? And that's, you know, compared to other nations, it's not a lot, you know. But nonetheless, you know, you don't even acknowledge them on a more recent timeline. So, all that to say, though, that, all right, you never acknowledged them as a nation, but at least at one point you acknowledged certain characters that derive from their historical continuity, right?
Yeah.
Where now you even deleted that. Like, they no longer exist. You know, the function of King David, or which again I always thought was funny. Like, okay, I can have him as a general, but I don't have him as a world leader. Like, shouldn't he be a world leader? He was the king of a nation, you know, of the nation of Israel back in the day. You know, I always thought to myself that was kind of a funny thing, you know.
Yeah.
So I wonder if, like, they were just always playing soft, treading softly with the politics of things.
Yeah.
You know, due to that, it looks like I discovered something, right? Yo, the Aztec Empire.
Yeah, it's really close. We're like all close to each other, bro.
What kind of size map you chose?
Large.
That's why.
It's not huge, but I was scared, you know. But actually, looking like I had to
wrap it up, right?
wrap it up soon.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Work. But man, no, honestly, bro, like, it's like a bittersweet thing. I'm really excited for Civ 7 because I really, like, you know, I've always been a fan of theirs, but like, at least I could say with this recent one, like, it kind of made me a little disappointed. Like, I can't even say enough to make me want to play Rev, you know what I'm saying? It's because, like, with all the functions I have here, it's like I almost don't want to, like, go back in time, you know?
Right.
So save the turtles. So, but like, honestly, like, yeah, I'm really, I do have high hopes for these guys, man. For Civ 7 at least. I'm a little nervous. There you go, that's the first barbaric boat.
But I ran out of time.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, took forever to get these guys.
I have high hopes. Again, graphic wise, I can't say I do, but I mean, you know, with the PS5 Pro coming out, I do hope that
Yeah.
I saved it.
Oh. You don't want to keep playing as you're saying your last statements?
Okay, I guess.
You want to
Yeah, no, I just with the PS5 Pro coming out, I do hope that I hope they know that the at least for me, man, the expectancy, man, I do have it real high, bro. Like, I expect, there you go. There you go. Damn. Okay. Well, I didn't see that line before. Now I do. But yeah, man. So like, I just hope that it delivers. I mean, I know it's gonna deliver a lot. That I'm not worried about. I don't think I have had like a problem with that. But like, with this game, it's just that the problems I've come across definitely needs to be fixed. And I guess definitely that like add-on we're talking about would be real dope. To see as a fan, and we could geek out, or all of us. Shoot, and it would be dope to want to play with everybody online.
Right.
Like without no problems. Like I would like to tell everybody, hey, join us. You know what I'm saying? Without it, actually affecting us, or like crashing on us,
Right. No, for sure.
They gotta really try to attack you, bro.
Dude, for real. Okay, I need to create more units. Or maybe just... No. Man, it's gotta take a long time to heal.
What?
Oh, that metal.
Oh, man. It did look a little too spiky for me, too. Like, that was spiky. Alright. So, what are your final thoughts, man?
Yeah, no, I would say my final thoughts are similar to you, what I'm saying? Like, obviously, I feel like we've come a long way with this game that it's like, all right, and we've seen the highs, we've seen the lows. I think like even a little bit of what I just mentioned are probably kind of the lows, like, like, I don't know, just definitely seems like politics has entered into this game, which is like a game that I feel should be apolitical in the sense of like you shouldn't hold any biases towards any standpoint, and and not to get too deep into it, but because then I wonder how far has politics really engaged into it, because when you look at like even the expansion DLCs that they added later on into this game, it was like an overflow of either like a lot of Chinese leaders, which is like that's kind of funny, like like all of a sudden like it's just a bunch of Chinese leaders that are getting thrown into the game compared to like other nations, more let's just say like even like Western civilizations for that matter. You know what I'm saying? Like you only get two presidents of the United States, as if like Teddy Roosevelt and Abraham Lincoln are really our only greatest presidents. That's so I wonder like things, what I'm saying, and I'm not saying that I wanted more presidents. I could care less for more presidents. What I'm saying is it's just funny that you're adding all these different leaders, numerous amount of them.
There've been greater ones too, probably maybe.
Yeah, right, that's discussable, right? Yeah, exactly.
We could like right. It's definitely arguable to say
like hey, I would have preferred, I don't know, whatever, like why can't I see? Why can't
They did good with Teddy Roosevelt. I felt like that was a good person to choose in that game because he,
No, well, yeah, for sure. He's yeah.
I mean, especially with the history, and I mean, man wrestled a bear. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
it doesn't get more American than that.
right.
Yeah.
But definitely.
Come on, dude. Really?
Dude, now watch this guy. Watch this guy, dude. Come on, bro. Like, dude, you have
resource for
why
resource.
Why do you even need wheat when you have wheat down there or something? Banana.
No, dude.
Look, you got game down there. Got crabs and turtles.
No, my thing is.
I have flounder.
Alright. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, again, it's definitely discussable whether or not.
Like which leaders should,
Yeah,
should be there.
but-
Because technically, like between Trajan and another concept of like they're the same empire, but like what do you really do? Again, it's not who, but like it's arguable.
It's
to
up for
say-
discussion, for sure.
that everybody really considers Caesar to be better than Trajan. You know what I'm saying? That's. But why not have both? And really, I feel like they both have that. They should have. I mean, and everybody they're doing it already. Like you could see a little bit, like especially like again, like you do have like duplicate civilizations now. Like now you did the
Duplicate leaders.
yeah, exactly.
Civilization.
Now you are able to choose Abraham Lincoln with Teddy Roosevelt and Teddy Roosevelt in the same game. They have different perks, so like I think that's a cool concept. Keep that going. Add and like Pinpoint said, add more. Because
Right. Well, the point I was making there was more so. It's just funny that America and even England and even
yeah, like they got less. They got less.
yeah, like
somehow,
they're excluded to just two.
even Africa.
And
you know
then
what
some,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Well, they got a couple, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, Africa's a big, but like yeah. I
But
mean,
you would say like there's more tribes than the ones that you think are greater. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean?
well, the main point I was pointing at is it was just funny to me that China got blessed with all these different leaders that they've had, great leaders, you know what I'm saying, throughout their history,
I wonder why.
and that's what I'm trying to get at. Like again, it's like not that I, like I said, video games, especially a video game like this, should just be apolitical, meaning it shouldn't have any biases. But it was kind of funny to me.
Yeah, you still feel the biasness.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit because maybe a lot of it because, like I said, it's like, all right, you took out certain.
Talking to you.
Yeah, you're taking out certain characters that are clearly reminiscent to that of Jewish history,
Right. I mean,
or even Christianity for that. But like,
you got
really,
John F. Kennedy, who like, you know what I'm saying? There's
You know-
a lot of leaders.
you know what I'm saying? And on top of that, not only did you exclude great persons like King David and King Solomon that are obviously of Jewish
Right.
or Israeli
I would say, like, for example,
historical
like-
descent,
right, because-
which would tell, like, it kind of gives me a window into your politics. But then you bombard the game with a bunch of leaders from China. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
like, then you got the Mongol, you know what
you
I'm
know,
saying?
and then on top of that, like also, if that wasn't a telltale sign, not only just China, but also like different, almost Middle Eastern, a bombardment of that. You know what I'm saying? Like different leaders that then they expanded on with that, which again, cool and all. But then it's like it just seemed like you really focused heavy on
And,
a certain.
region.
/ political, area
Yeah.
opposite,
Or just definitely
opposing regions.
Yeah,
opposing,
like and just
and I don't mean it in a bad way as if like we're sworn enemies, but clearly in the war or not the war, but in the opposition of ideology and political standings, things of that nature. It's kind of clear that you are leaning one way, you know what I'm saying, and that's what I mean. It's like,
or I can even say too, like for example, like I mean, you got people like for example, you just added Abraham Lincoln, right, and Teddy Roosevelt. Why not add countries that were at war with us at that time? You know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean leaders, and I'm not saying that they were, you know what I mean? They were great leaders for, that. Like you just say, like it's just. You added one person, but like, okay, during their reign, there was another great leader. I mean, I can't speak for it because I'm not part of their, their culture, their lifestyle. But I could assume that some guy would be saying the same exact thing. Like, hey, well, when that guy was reigning, we had a pretty damn well president or leader that was fucking shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where like, I get that. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Like, if you're gonna like add so much, like even add like opposing ones, like that were from that timeline,
Yeah, oh yeah, because like even like the game offers you like the historical context to leaders, like when you in the like Cyclopedia, right?
Mhm.
And it's so like, all right, oh, these are all the reasons why these leaders from China were great, and then like, but you only found 2 presidents. I can only speak for us at the moment, just
Because
like,
this is all we got.
that's what I know.
Yeah,
Most,
right.
that's what I know most.
Most, right?
You know what I'm saying,
exactly.
contrary to like whatever kings and queens England's had or whatever leaders Colombia's had, or
Because
whatever.
then you got right. Like, for
Um,
example, you got England, right? Like you got Queen Elizabeth at that time. Like it would be cool. Like okay, like America was against like all that. You know what I'm saying? So like why not add that founding father who started it all? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like that
Right.
George Washington. Just put
Right.
him in there because you already know, and it would be cool. Like yeah, I mean I get it, bro. Like it's like.
Yeah, so all these reasons you've clearly added other leaders from, coincidentally enough.
That timeline or your region timeline,
yeah.
and somehow like they all connect, like and I get
You know what I'm
it.
saying? So that's just what I mean. It's like that as I looked and like as I was like paying attention to these moves they were making, I'm like,
What was his
Are
name?
you
I
guys,
don't even want to botch his name either, but like I know you thought. Like it's crazy enough that they even have opposing like leaders and it is crazy dominantly like Chinese for some reason.
Because it was for sure that there was the most. Like I mentioned Middle East, but like what I mean by that is like they clearly during that expansion of leaders like that they were adding to the game.
Yeah.
It was majority those like between those two. Like they added Abraham Lincoln and a few others like from like Western civilizations, and then some like even indigenous.
Yeah.
Kind of tribes, whatever, things of that nature. But then after that, it was like just a lot of like Egypt, considering that it already has Cleopatra, but now they added Ramses and they technically Nubia or Nubia, like it's the same region, technically whatever.
Mansa Musa too, like I forget his name, but
You know what I mean? And then they even like added a different version of Sahaladin and who's the other guy? Whatever. But the majority for sure that they packed it with was different, like a numerous amount of like leaders from China, which was just like that's just weird. Like you were only able to think of Abraham Lincoln. Opposite of Teddy Roosevelt, as if those are really the defining presidents of the United States. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Abraham Lincoln for sure. They obviously, it's kind of hard to argue that he was the guy because he obviously ended slavery in the United States. So like, it's obvious why he's there. And Teddy Roosevelt, like you said, like there's definitely a good reason to why he would be there. But like, you don't think George Washington is a good figure? You don't think Reagan? You know what I'm saying? Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, just different, presidents, whatever. And then again, like, I can't speak for, I can only speak on presidents of us because I'm not familiar with world leaders of other countries, And like I said, we at best we have 2.
like
England has
that,
2.
You're like damn near, bro.
Actually, I think
Like,
England has.
you got like we have.
Eleanor, Elizabeth, and who's the other one? Virginia? No, what's her name? It's Elizabeth.
Yeah, they do got it. Yeah, they did add a couple different ones.
Eleanor, I think Eleanor's at England, or was that Civ 5?
No, Eleanor's in there.
Because Eleanor's like she could be the leader of France, or she could be the leader of England.
Yeah.
Then you have the Virginia of Steam, right? It is Virginia, right? Like her name is Virginia.
I don't know.
Like, Queen Virginia, what's her name?
Yeah.
But then later on they added Queen Elizabeth, the original leader they've always had.
Yeah.
For a while, or at least she was like the main leader of England, or the Empire of England for a while in Civ. And then I think in Civ Rev is when they changed it to, I think her name's Virginia. I don't know, I could be wrong. But anyways, my whole point is just that. It was just like, it was just weird to me where it just seems like, again, between the taking out of certain characters that are, on a political spectrum, like, left-leaning politics are definitely now in the area of like discrediting, I guess, the legitimacy of Israel.
Yeah.
And obviously, one way to do that is by legitimizing or legitimizing or trying to erase the existence of their history that does exist, like in books like the Bible, whatever, or their personal whatever.
Right.
So I just thought that was like, oh, that's interesting, and then again, it made me realize, like, man, they actually never even acknowledged them as an actual nation, whatever. But nonetheless, you take out these characters, and then I was like, like I said, just the over dumping, and not that I'm complaining about it. I'm complaining about it in the sense of, like, it just seems like that's what you're doing, one, but two, the way I feel like you would, if you're gonna do that, then you should be. I feel like you should be doing that all around the be even. In a sense, like, all right, if you're gonna add all these type of Chinese leaders that I would consider you praising them, that you felt that they were worthy enough to add into the game for some reason, you really don't feel that that's the truth about certain, American leaders. You don't feel that that's the truth about maybe even certain England leaders. You don't feel that that's the truth about certain Spain leaders, certain
I mean, at this point,
Mexican leaders. You know what I'm saying?
Like, they didn't just have that.
And that's another thing. Like, let's talk about that. Like, for the longest time, for Mexico, all you've had is
indigenous,
the indigenous version of Mexico that doesn't even exist anymore.
And they were like slaughtered. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm sorry, you guys. We were too. You know what I mean? Don't worry, we're with you.
And again, it is what it is. Like, even obviously you have certain leaders like the Celts that don't even really exist. They're a byproduct of England history technically, but you have them in the game, and so you have Aztecs. All right, cool. But like, how come you don't have any Mexican presidents of recent or maybe throughout their history that maybe is worthy of note? Maybe the ones that were at war with America at one point for El Paso, you know what I'm saying? El Paso, or the Alamo, you know what I'm saying? Like, things like that. Like, those are things worthy of note. I mean,
or like even the fact. I mean, and mind you, like, there was a time too that we like. I mean, again, like throughout the time, like, we could choose a leader like of our statue, I guess, or like that would have, you know what I'm saying? Because remember, Mexico also had the war with, or like the liberation from France, you know what I'm saying? Like
Spain.
I'm sorry, Spain, and like we're part of that. We're like, that was us, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's so weird that like you said, like the indigenous part of of our side is there, but not the other great, like the actual great leaders, like besides like the one, two few that they want to think that they think is the highest caliber one. Okay, cool, Abraham, you're right, that is, but like there's more for sure.
Yeah, like I said, it's just food for thought. I guess that was more for me, food for thought. Like, all right, is this really what's happening in the background? If it is, like, are we going to see more signs of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe I would argue it's a sign of good faith to go against what I'm possibly thinking. Maybe bring back great people like King David and King Solomon. Like, I just, I can't seem to find a good reason for you to think that you should take them out. You know what I'm saying? Especially since you still have great people that are still being able to be attained, throughout the game. You know what I'm saying? Now, it would have been a different story if that was a function that no longer existed, so hence why King David and King Solomon are no longer available. But that is still a feature in the game, and for whatever reason you felt King David no longer, you want them I can no longer have him as a great general, and Solomon, I can no longer have him as a great builder or a great merchant, whatever function he plays. Again, maybe a sign of good faith to prove us wrong is bring him back into the game.
Yeah.
Then that would at least let me know that, all right, you guys are not trying to be, or you guys really haven't been biased. But up to this point, I gotta say, like, not a good sign. Like, it seems like there's a bias playing in the developing of the game. Whoever you have working there, maybe it's a bunch of new left-leaning, or maybe even foreign people from that clearly have a bias towards their side of history, and it shows. Is what I'm saying. It's kind of showing a bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that is what's happened, and I would say, like, just please do your best to not go that route. Like,
yes.
Stay apolitical. Stay, and it's okay. Or maybe staying apolitical. It was always okay to at least have no biases where like, all right, maybe you show both sides of history. You know what I'm saying? Like if the idea is like, you know, great leaders of a certain region, of a certain belief to great leaders of a certain region of their, you know what I'm saying? Like just add it all. Who cares? You know what I mean? You guys got characters like Beowulf. You know what I'm saying? Which is technically a legend, a mythical legend. It's not even Hercules. You know what I'm saying? You guys are adding mythical characters that are not even that are really we really don't know are historically accurate, and somehow you don't feel it was okay to keep characters that are technically debatable, more debatable to be actually historically accurate. But if at the very least you don't believe that, you don't want to believe that, if you had the balls to keep characters like Hercules, you know, Arthur, you know, King Arthur, Beowulf, if you had the balls to keep them in the game and use them as heroes, then why awkwardly did you think it was not okay to keep, if you think they're mythical and not real, debatable whether they're not real, why couldn't you just keep characters like King David or King Solomon that have great feats of their own, to why they, if this is all fairy tale and not real, still a great story. You know what I'm saying? It's still cool feats that they accomplished that would be cool to keep them in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what your mindset is. You know what I'm saying?
It goes farther. I think we could get farther into it because even like the religious state part of it, because like I mean, historically, I mean Jesus was a real person. And, I mean, in history that they at least. People who are not Christian, or like I guess for the government side of things, they consider him a great prophet. You know, that's how they like because he, or you know what I'm saying, because he did healings, he did all this. Like so, he is a part of history. He did exactly what great prophets in this game do, which is heal units and all that stuff. So you would think that they would still have somebody like that, bro.
Right.
But honestly,
which is so you know, remember when Pinpoint mentioned that?
Yeah. Honestly,
that's why I was like, ooh, I want to get to that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that.
We'll get to it, bro.
We'll get to that. So again, just food for thought, guys. You know, we're supposed to be wrapping this up, so let's wrap it up.
Sorry, man.
Obviously, a lot of things that we want to see from Civ 7 coming forward. I mean, like you mentioned earlier, you guys have been doing this for a while. You know, so as far as like the game of Civilization existing, it's like so like let's try and do our best to hit this out of the park, man. You like, you know, obviously Civ 6 was great, Civ 5 was great. You know, there's great features up to them. There's always been great features to Civilization. If there's a way to compound it all into one, and then the cherry on top would be the over expansion of immersiveness to the game. That would be for sure quite the feat. And then as far as I think the immersive dialogue, that's I mean I don't think it has to go that far. I'm not even sure we can get there, but recent. But I know it should be possible because, like I said, there's games for older consoles that kind of had that feature that you can talk into a mic, to talk to a fish, that talks back to you. And that was older consoles, and now there's things that exist from your phone to your Alexa, you know, saying that you can talk to them. And so I just don't see why you can't add that into the game, where like I can actually talk my own answers, you know. But let's just say that I could definitely see that being a very big feat in a game that would really require a lot of like memory and whatever a game needs to run. So that's why I'm not really hell bent on that being a thing for this game coming up, 7. But
at least the last stuff that we mentioned.
But the last things that we mentioned, like for sure. And that being said, definitely excited for the game to come out. Definitely excited. What was it? August they said that we're gonna see.
The gameplay.
The gameplay. So that'll be.
I'm ready to see
definitely
that.
anticipating that and.
For my birthday, man.
Low key. Imagine it does.
Look at that. That's like crazy. Like I said, we were just talking about like wanting to do this until Civ 7 came out, or to force them to take Civ 7 out. And it was like as if they heard our phone call and they decided to drop
we didn't mention that, right? And that was funny actually. Yeah, we prior to even the news of Civ 7 coming out, like literally the day before, we talked about obviously that there were talks always about the next Civ, right? Obviously. Just like there is talks about the next Elder Scrolls, the next GTA, before it was even an official thing. We obviously knew it's coming, however they deliver it, up to them, right? But so we were talking about it with Civ. We're like, obviously there's another Civ coming. Maybe we should, prior to being officially announced, maybe we should start discussing what we discussed today. Things of what we want to see, the issues we had with Civ 6, and literally the next day, boom, the trailer dropped. So it was clearly clearly Providence.
I think if that was a sign enough for us to do this, I think that was we would not be. I don't know, but honestly, it was a crazy. It was crazy. I was like, what the heck? Like, and our boy Penn actually was the one who sent us the trailer. So I was like,
well, sent you the trailer.
Or sent, yeah. No, well, he tagged us on Facebook.
Oh, no, that's what it was.
Yeah,
That is what it was.
he tagged us on Facebook. So I
Yeah.
saw it like that. I'm like, what the hell? And he didn't see it yet. That's what happened. So I told him, like, bro, get on Facebook right now. And then he saw it. But man, yeah, that was, thanks pinpoint for that. But like crazy enough that like how that
We were already planning that.
yeah, like we're hoping that what I'm saying, they heard us. They heard us through the phone. They're like, oh man, let's not.
Now's the time to promote.
They didn't want the revolution, the real one. But man, yeah, I'm excited, man.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that being said, man, if you haven't played Civilization, go ahead and play it. It's a fun game, great strategy game. I always tell people it's like a very more complex or immersive version of chess. It's a strategy game, right? So a great strategy game. And for those who do play Civ, and you watch this video, comment in the comment section whether you agree with what we talked about, what we wanted in the game, what we liked about the games throughout the years. Comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Disagree, agree. Maybe there's something we missed. Let us know. Share it out. Share the video, obviously, because
We're gonna keep doing this.
we're gonna keep doing this. Yeah.
So,
But the more you share this video, the more likely Fire Axis, 2K, Civilization might actually come across this video and actually consider the things that we're talking about. And in fact, I'm even gonna go out of my way to probably even share the link to this video on their platforms on social media, even in YouTube. They have their own, which they do their somewhat best of staying active, being an active account. So, but I would encourage you guys to do the same. Again, the more people we get to share this, like it, comment and interact with it, the more it helps for the algorithm of how this video gets distributed and how many people see it, how many eyes, and hopefully again in the eyes of those that it matters most,
right.
And that's the people who actually developed the game. And
Hey, let's get this.
let's get it right. Let's get it right. So that being said, appreciate those who were watching with us. Appreciate those that will watch further on in the future. And again, just let us know what you want to see, and even maybe for us to discuss, honestly, in the game, man. That being said, peace out, much love, and we're out of here as soon as I figure out how to end this stream. Let's see, I think this is how. Nope. How do I? Okay. Let's figure this out.
Broadcast.
Sorry, guys.
Do what you did again.
I mean, it's this.
There you go.
Oh. Sorry, guys, if you're still watching. Okay. This is it. Alright, guys. Peace out. Much love. God bless. Till next time. We out.